We are at the final four on the ultimate NFL trivia bracket on the Sports IQ Showdown. And in our first semifinal, we have two very competitive players. Number 2 seed, ClevTA, going up against number 3 seed, George Tsilfidis. Now, in this edition of the show, we have something that happens that has never happened in any of our other episodes. So if you enjoy this one today, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for trivia shows like this every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Get ready for the next semifinal and, of course, the championship round. But for now, it is time to meet the players. It's time for our very first semifinal on the Sports IQ Showdown trivia bracket. Here we have two of the players that really can go and win it all. George Tsilfidis on the right side of the screen. Underneath, it is ClevTA. And let's go to TA. You are the higher seed here. Does that give you the confidence to think you can go all the way to the final?
No, I've been doing podcasts with George for all season, and he's got a lot of knowledge, and he's younger than me. I don't know exactly how old George is, but he's got to be at least 10 years younger than me. So he still has those brain cells. I've got a longer memory bank, but the older I get, the worse it gets. So I think George is a very good shot at winning for sure.
Yeah, both of our players here are co-hosts on the Monday Foward Progress show for NFL betting content. But George, do you think that age is a factor here? Would you rather have more years to study the NFL? Or would you rather have the more youthful mind where maybe you retain that information a little bit better?
I'm 37 years old, and I don't know Cleve's age, but I'm pretty sure he's been watching football for maybe 7-8 years longer than me. And there's that little gap there. I pray that nothing lands in that area. That being said, Cleve's a tremendous competitor. When the brackets got drawn up, this is the matchup that I was expecting to happen in the semifinals. And dare I say it, Cleve, the winning person of this tournament is going to come from today's matchup.
Eric Eager and Hitman on the other side, two formidable competitors. Eric Eager is a favorite to win it all, but George, you're making the claim that whoever comes out of this is going to be the champ.
Yeah, I watched Eric and Rob's pod, and I'm yelling Marquez Colston at the screen.
It was Colston. Oh my God, it was
Marcus Colston. Jesus
Christ.
Marcus Colston.
They would have got swept 2-0 by myself if we played. That third quiz was a little bit messed up, but that quiz gave me confidence that Eric is not this untamable beast.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens here and if either of these players can go win it all, but they have to get through one another first of all here. And when it comes to these quizzes, these players put everything on the line. They put embarrassment on the line, as we saw with other users like Jason Cooper. So I'm going to put myself on the line today. I'm going to make the claim here. I'll put the odds on this one as a slight favorite for TA, -115 for TA, -105 for George Tsilfidis. So there's my claim today. Let's see if it does come true.
Are you taking big? What's going on over here?
Perhaps some added pressure associated now, but let's get into our very first quiz. And for that first quiz, we have what I would say is one of the easier quizzes. It is choose the quarterbacks that have the most career regular season passing touchdowns through the 2022 season. So all-time passing yards before this current season. I think this will be one of the easier ones, which is maybe a little bit unfortunate. We don't have the treat of the semifinal being a highly competitive one and a difficult quiz, but there are now 8 answers for each player in this snake draft format. George, finally the opportunity to lead off one of these quizzes here. You are going first before TA has 2 consecutive picks. And I will say, you probably have the luxury of going first because this may be one of the easier ones. But George, opportunity knocks. Who is the first pick?
I feel like number 1 is one of 2 guys. It's going to hurt me to say, but I'm going to go against my guy. I'm going to go with Brett Favre.
Okay. Brett Favre is the first selection. He's number 2 on the list.
George.
I know. I couldn't remember if it was him or my guy. So I already gave you a point, Cleve.
All right. TA, take advantage. Who's your first selection?
Wow. I can't believe George. I didn't even consider Favre. I thought Peyton Manning was the easy number 1, so I'll go with Peyton Manning.
Okay, Peyton Manning Is he the number one? He is the number one by a margin of 31.
Omaha. Yeah, that's right.
I got tripped up on the end of his career getting cut short, and I couldn't remember if he failed to pass Favre before his career was over. So that was the hang up.
It's okay. We'll let you get away. We still got the 24, so it's not like you got a bad one.
Yeah, I mean, those are the two, right? If I picked either of those, any of those two, I didn't deserve to be here.
I think the next one is pretty obvious too. So I'll go Eli Manning just because of longevity, and I mean he was good for a while. So I'll go Eli Manning.
Eli Manning going with my guy, and he is number 3 on the list. All right, great start for TA. George, back to you.
Yeah, those three were the ones, right? Oh.
As the quiz elongates, perhaps like our players haven't played a lot of these quizzes, so they haven't played all the way up to like 8 total seeds. So we're gonna have some weird names in here.
I think Randall Cunningham is up there. I'll go with Randall Cunningham.
Okay, Randall Cunningham is the 7th seed. Could have been better, but let's see if this one is.
You can see the drop off between 3 and 7. It's like double. Like there's that little window. And I'm trying not to be like influenced by age here, but also years played. I think I'll go somewhat safe. I'm gonna go with Derek Carr.
Right, Derek Carr is 6th on the list. So 2 solid picks, but that leaves the 4 and the 5 available for TA.
Yeah, there's some interesting names here, and so there's a lot. They're pretty clustered. So it's, I don't think there's huge separation, but this guy has more touchdowns than we think. I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins.
Okay, Kirk Cousins is the 4 seed, best available.
You like that? You like that?
TA has been perfect through 3 picks. Can he make it 4?
Now I'm getting a little bit, questionable. There's someone who's been there for a while, but again, when you look at kind of modern NFL versus older NFL, like the 80s and 90s, just the number, the stats aren't apples to apples. So you got to weigh the two. I'm just going to stick with modern NFL. And I'm going to go with, I'm just going to go with Boomer Esiason just because he played for a while, but that could be a bad one. I don't know.
Who's sticking out to me? Boomer is that 5th seed, perfect through 4 picks. For TA, he's taken the best available with all 4 of his selections. George, you're fortunate that it is an 8-answer quiz, because if it wasn't, we'd already be done. But who is your 5th and 6th pick?
That era is tough, right?
Yeah.
Guys might have played 10, 11, 12 years, but it was an era where like 15, 18 touchdowns was a good season, right? So like
that's what I was worried about with Boomer. I knew he played a while, but I didn't know if he had the number of touchdowns.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a little gamble. I'll go with Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, shorter career, but very good in that time. He is 9th, so 2nd best available. You can find the best here.
There's still some room. I just don't know what his stats were. This was pre my era. I'll leave it off. I'm gonna go with Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, a solid option as he always was in his career, and he is that best available at 199 touchdowns. Okay,
so that was actually the guy I was debating with Boomer, was Alex Smith. That was more safe, but yeah, that was a good pick.
We're back to TA for 2 more picks. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you, a guy who probably threw more touchdowns, and just his stats are better than I think we generally give him credit for. And he played more modern era. So I'm going to go with Matt Schaub.
Okay, Matt Schaub, perhaps underrated. And he is 12th on the list. So that's fine. There's only 2 better than that, and you have a chance to find one of them here.
Again, I'm just going to go longevity. He's older. I'm just going to go Phil Simms. I don't know.
Okay, Phil Simms is the 11th seed. So the perfection streak has ended. However, still 2 of the best 3. But that gives George a chance to really fight his way back in the game. That 10th seed is going to be very valuable here.
136 is the floor. Trying to do the math. Who's been throwing enough and has accumulated enough? All right. Let's go with... It feels so weird to say Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. You sounded not sure. Are you? Are we going? Are we going with Jared Goff?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're talking about like 7-year starters, right? And I'm trying to do math on how many touchdowns he might have thrown. But yeah, Jared Goff.
Jared Goff is the 10th seed. Nice job. Nice job. Okay, back in it. 2 selections remaining each. George, you are down by just 6 points.
Wow.
This is pretty impressive. We're perfect after 12 picks. You guys have the top 12. This window, this little corridor here for George, and where TA found the 3, 4, 5 that are separating us.
I will go with. Oh, I just don't know how. I don't think he started enough because he went away. All right, let's go. Let's go, Michael Vick. I got to get ready.
I mean, the way you said it, you gave away the answer. So, Michael Vick, is he good enough to end up 13th? Yes.
Oh,
13th.
Wow.
13 points for the 13th seed. Well done. Okay, TA, these are your final 2 picks of the first quiz. It's best of 3, but getting out ahead is huge. Who are your final 2?
I'm just going to go, the guy's played a decent amount. I'm going Jimmy Garoppolo.
All right, Jimmy G is the 16th seed. Okay, so you had some room. You may not have any more room. 1 more pick remaining each. TA is up by just the 3 points. However, those 3 points give him the advantage because if you find the 14, George will not be able to catch you. Same with the 15 seed. If you find the 17th seed, George, the best he can do is to tie. So you have a bit of an advantage here. So you've had some time. Who is your final selection?
Well, so again, trying to be safe here. Hasn't played many years, but if 87 is the floor here for Garoppolo, and he's got to clear 87, I think he's only played for 4 years. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow because I think he's in that ballpark. So I know he's not last, right? So he should be okay.
Yep. Joe Burrow to lock up the first round. Or do we have a chance for George to get back into it? Joe Burrow is 18th, 8 points. So that puts you in the lead, but that gives
got a
big
shot.
Opportunity here for George to snag the first quiz. So, George, you are down by 11 points. That would be the 15th seed. If you get the 14th seed, you do win the first round.
I'm going to go with David Garrard.
Okay. David Garrard. For George to steal the first round, he is the 15th seed. Okay. Very interesting. For the first time, we have a tie. So, this will not affect the quiz unless you guys split the next 2. So guaranteed we will play the next 2. If you guys split and win 1 each, we will have a final Jeopardy question that will decide who goes to the final, which I've had sitting on deck since we started the entire Sports IQ Showdown's trivia bracket. We go to the second quiz. So we get 2 more quizzes no matter what. And this one is choose the players that have played in the most playoff games in the past 10 years. So when I saw this question, I was like, it's going to be teams. I feel like that might be a bit easy. It's actually players. And it's some interesting players. You got to go deep into the arsenal of NFL IQ to play this one. And George, the luxury is yours once again to lead off. Feel free to take a second here. But who's going to be your pick?
I feel like it's one of 2 guys again. First I pass on my boy Peyton. This time I'm going to take my enemy, Tom Brady.
Yeah, I think that's
too easy.
I think that's the easy one. Tom Brady.
Come on.
Number 1.
Wait, how did we do this? And he got the number 1 pick 2 times in a row. What is this?
Cleve,
I'm sorry.
I
took
Jacob out for a steak dinner yesterday. I'm sorry, my friend.
That bottle of scotch sitting in my cabinet. Nothing to do with this. It's all up to the draft party gods.
Like this is not an easy one. I don't even honestly I know the NFL. There's at least one name here that I've never heard of in my life. I don't know about you, George.
Can I guess the name you've never heard of?
Yeah, because I won't pick them. That's for sure.
Ramon Foster?
No, actually, it's not the one. It's not the one.
Who then? Who have you never heard of?
Brett Good. Never heard of the guy. Have you?
I don't know.
Do you know what team he plays for? You don't have to say it.
I don't even know what position he plays. So
see,
yeah.
Oh man. Well, all right. I'm gonna go just a safe route. I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes, the easy route, because I already know he played deep and obviously with the extended wild card He should have had a few extra games. So I'm going to go with Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is the 3 seed.
Okay.
You are second, so it's fine. You can find the number 2 here.
All right, now I'm going to really have to look. I remember when some of these guys retired. So I guess just because of longevity, I'm going to go with Peyton Manning just because of longevity.
I think that's sensible. Peyton Manning is...
No.
Wow.
That's what I was worried about. But
We go to, once again, George Tsilfidis. 2 big picks coming up to take a real stranglehold of this one.
I think I'm gonna go with Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey is 9th on the list with the 9. All right. Solid. This one looks like it'll be difficult. A lot of players are tied on the list as well. But your next pick is here.
Oh, because he went to the Super Bowl with them, and then Cowboys appearance. Let's go DeMarcus Lawrence. I feel like it's a safe layup at this point.
Okay. DeMarcus Lawrence is also a 14 seed, 12 points.
Jesus.
So
yeah,
unable to capitalize. We go to...
This might be the most difficult topic. You've even worse than the success rate one.
Yeah,
This is a tough
this one when I saw it, I was excited because I knew it would be tough.
Man, this is like you could tell me any of these guys are number 2 right now, and I'd probably say okay. All right, let me go with though only because he played with Seattle. Seattle played a long time. I'm gonna go Golden Tate just because I know he played a handful of those.
Yeah, I was looking at that one
I
too.
spotted his name too.
Golden Tate is also a 9 seed, 17 points. Okay, this quiz is tough. It has our creators stumped, but 5 more picks remaining each. TA, yours is up next.
This one I'm gonna stretch a little bit. This is like kind of off the board. The guy who played a lot, he played with the Niners, and I think he played with Seattle. I'm going Mike Iupati.
Mike Iupati. I've never heard of this guy, but
He's an offensive lineman for the Niners and for Seattle for a little bit.
well,
Good
as
pick.
long as you've heard of him,
Yeah.
he is the 9 seed. Okay, so a lot of openings here. Our creators have not been able to take advantage as of yet. George, you're down by 15 with a pick in hand here. 2 straight for you.
Just because I think Green Bay has played in a few, and I'm gonna go Devontae Adams. I think he's got at least 8 or 9 playoff games.
Devontae Adams, 11 playoff games, puts him as the 6th seed. Okay, up by 5, excuse me, with 4 picks remaining each.
I'm gonna go with Leonard Floyd. I think he
Leonard.
was on the Rams Super Bowl run, played on the Bears.
And extending the lead by how much? Leonard Floyd is the lowest ranked.
Oh,
He was 20th. So you get the good one, but you also get the bad one there. 20 seed, 6 points. 20th seed is the lowest seed we have for this quiz. Okay, back to you, TA.
So I need to make up ground because I got 4 picks to 3. I don't know how many he played, but I think this is kind of a safe one. So I'll go Tyron Smith because I already know what DeMarcus Lawrence is, and he should be in that same ballpark.
All right, Tyron Smith is another 14 seed, 12 points.
Okay.
That
I just
does
wanted
the
points on
job
the
because
board.
you're up by 1 now.
Yeah. And so we've got the same number of picks up by 1. Oh man, are we going to tie again? Okay. You know a guy who this might be the number 2, and maybe I'm an idiot. Tramon Williams, because he played for Green Bay for all those playoff teams, and I think he played for another playoff team. I'm going to say Tramon Williams.
Tramon Williams is a 14 seed, 12 points. Okay. You put a bit of pressure on at the very least.
Cleve, I think I found something.
My goodness. I mean, 2, 3, and
Who's-
5
who's
will be
been-
humongous.
Who's been married to Patrick Mahomes' playoff run? Derek Natty, an awful defensive tackle, but he's
Derek
been
Nandi.
and he's been in Kansas City that run. Yeah, that's my pick.
Has he
Okay.
been in that long though? I
Yeah,
knew that. I
It's
just didn't know he
four,
was there
ye-
for that
four,
long.
ye- 4 years, Cleve. That's what,
Oh, okay.
12 games?
Okay. Is it the big brain play? Yes.
Good one. Good one.
And that is a 23-point haul. Tremendous. All right. George, you're up by 10. 2 picks remaining each. I'm surprised Brett Good's still on the board, guys.
You tell me what team he's on. That'd be great.
Can't tell you that.
Okay. Is he the
That
long,
really was a big brain.
is he the long snapper on the Chiefs or something? And he's racked up a bunch of games. Oh man. So I'm up by 20.
You're up by 10.
I'm up by 10. Jeez. I'm gonna go Roger Saffold. Just it's the safest pick I can think of.
The Rams.
Roger Saffold, 20th seed.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, 6th seed. Sorry, 6th seed. Humongous pick. 6th seed is 20 points. That puts you up by 30. Sorry for that.
Can I win? Can I still win?
Yes, you can still win. Very much. You're down by 30, but the 2 seed is worth 24 points.
So I can't believe it took me this long, George. I'm embarrassed as an Ohio State grad to not think about this. He's probably the most random guy on the board, but I know him because he went to Ohio State and he's one of the best special teamers we've seen the last decade, and he played with the Patriots. I think Nate Ebner is up there.
Okay.
I can't believe I didn't think about this earlier. I know him from Ohio State.
Nate Ebner is that 2 seed.
Wow.
Right back into
I
it.
can't believe it took me that long. I'm embarrassed.
Right back into it. You're still down by 6, but now a big opportunity here. So no matter what, George will have to make his final pick, but you can certainly put yourself in the advantage here.
I'm just going to go with Fred Warner because I know the Niners were in it for a while, but he hasn't played that long, but I'm just going to go Fred Warner.
Okay, Fred Warner. Can he put pressure on? So if you are to get one of the 20th seeds, that will tie it, but George will have to make his pick and will win regardless. So anything better than that, and at least we have something on the line here. Fred Warner is a 9 seed. 17 points is just enough, I think, to put pressure on for George. You're down by 11. If you choose a 14th seed or better, you are fine. There are 5 players who you'd win on here. There are 5 players you would lose on here.
Oh, wow.
Wow, it's a coin flip.
Wow.
Man, you could go big brain and pick this Brett Good guy. He might have had like 20 playoff games we don't even know about. Long snapper somewhere. He's got to be a long snapper.
I'm going to tell you who I'm between, Cleve, and if you want to give me a hint.
I don't know. This category stumped me, so I can't give you any hints. Go ahead.
I'm between Brian Allen because of the Rams Super Bowl run, Josh Norman because of the Panthers Super Bowl run, and then he went to Washington. I just don't remember how many games Washington played in the playoffs, and then Charles Omenihu to piggyback off your Fred Warner pick. So I hated that I did this because we're gonna find out which of these picks would have cost me or won it for me. I'm just gonna go with Brian Allen and puke when it loses.
This is huge. 14th seed or better, and George wins this quiz. Anything less, one of the 20th seeds, and he loses this round. He has elected to not go with Brett Good, long snapper for the Green Bay Packers from 2008 to 2017. Likely a very good selection. A former Super Bowl champion. By the way, he's a real estate agent now. But you've gone with Brian Allen. Brian Allen to win the round. He is, one of the 20th seeds. TA scrapes through.
Damn.
And is the winner in this round.
Brett Good was the guy. He would have won.
Brett Good would have been, it would have been a winning pick, but it would not have been a very good pick.
I gave 3 options, and 2 of them would have won it. Josh Norman, Charles Omenihu, and I picked the one. You see, this is what happens when you say I'm down to these 3, and you always pick the wrong one.
That was a tough one. That was a real tough one.
That was something else.
George,
I've watched most of these, Jacob, and I think this is the toughest one we've had.
I
we've never even heard of.
You know who would have been this one is Eric Eager. This is one where throw variance out the window. Eric Eager would have smashed everything in this round.
That's how it goes on the Sports IQ Showdown. George needs this quiz, and he forces the final Jeopardy for the first time we've ever had it on this show. But George, you are once again the leadoff. I apologize to TA. It's out of my hands. It's in the hands of the draft party gods.
It's a handicap match like old wrestling days, where, like Andre the Giant. Okay, one. I got a hand tied behind my back.
It's the vig is priced into the coin flip if you were to bet on it. That's what it is.
I'm sorry, Cleve. Normally I'm picking second. Jacob did me real solid. I'm gonna go with Big Ben to start.
Yes, I didn't say it out, but his most regular season wins as a quarterback through the 2022 season. Big Ben is the first selection. He is the first seed. All right, great start for George, and he needs this one. All right, TA, what do you have for us as your 2 picks?
can't believe I'm not saying this, but I can't believe my guy Tim Couch is on here. That's awesome. Well, I'm just gonna go with Donovan McNabb. I feel like an easy one.
All right, Donovan McNabb is the 4th seed.
Interesting.
But you have another pick here.
Yeah, and then the next pick's gonna be my current quarterback somehow. Go with Joe Flacco.
He's still kicking it around.
Doesn't count though. Well, he hasn't gotten a win, so okay.
Joe Flacco, number 3, 23 points. Okay, solid, but that lets George have the opportunity to get that 2 seed.
All right, I'm gonna go with Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler is the 6th seed. Who is the 2 seed?
I'm gonna go with Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. We're going quick here, so easier quiz it seems. Jim Kelly, that's the 2 seed. 24 big ones. Back to TA.
Just skipped off my head. All right, I'll make this fast. I'll go Tony Romo.
Tony Romo is the 5th seed. Best available. Well done.
I like how you guys stuck that Tua in there for George.
And Tim Couch for you.
You can't resist it. All right. Okay, now I gotta think here because these names.
Now it gets tougher.
I'll just go with Jared Goff. Of all the quarterbacks left, he's won a bunch of games.
Yeah, Jared Goff is the best available as well. Perfect 2 for TA. Back to George.
Yeah, Jared Goff was a good one. I guess Dante Culpepper. I know his career got cut short, but they had like 15 win seasons in Minnesota.
Okay, we're going to Dante Culpepper, and he is the 11th seed. And that puts you behind by 1 at the halfway point. Another really close one. I'm really liking this.
He won a bunch. He sucked. I'm gonna go Mark Sanchez. I don't know why. It's just calling my name. I think he had 7 years as a starter.
The Sanchez quarterback, Mark Sanchez, is the 13th seed. George.
Mark Sanchez not expecting it, and it was the backside of Brandon Moore that knocked the ball out.
They were a wild card team, right? They didn't win regular season wins. They just racked them up in the playoffs.
Letting it slip a little bit. Giving TA the big chances here. TA, 2 more for yourself.
Man, he played so many years. Like, this is a longevity pick. This isn't like a good quarterback pick. But I'm just gonna go John Kitna. He's played a lot of years, so give him a shot.
John Kitna is the best available. Massive haul with 3 picks left.
All right. Now we're really dumpster diving here. Look at these names. Oh, man.
George, you have to talk about Tua like that or what?
I just want George to, the last pick's got to be Tua no matter what it is.
If I have no chance at winning, Cleveland will be. I'm going to go out on my shield with Tua.
That's fair. Look, they won a bunch of games. So what seed? I'm looking at the lowest seed is what was the lowest pick? Sanchez is 37. All right. I am going to I'll go with Baker Mayfield. He's not one of the higher ones, but I know he's at least middle of the pack. I'm just say Baker Mayfield, just as a safe play.
Baker Mayfield. Is it safe? Baker Mayfield. 15th.
Okay.
31 wins.
Baker Mayfield, you look awful.
11 points. That's got George in the mix here, I'd say again. But, George, you got to do really well here.
He hasn't been a starter in a year or 2, but I think he won enough with the Eagles. I'm going to go with Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz gets 17 points as the best available. And the reason that 17 is so massive is we're tied with 2 picks remaining each.
I just don't know enough, but I'm just going to go Elvis Garback. I have no recollection of him as a player. I just remember when I first started playing Madden, he was still in the league. So this could be a bomb of a pick.
A Madden play. Elvis is 12 seed, so second best available. That's 14 points. You're up by 14, and TA has his last 2 selections.
I don't even know if you don't know Elvis Gerbach, you've never seen Jeff George. This guy was had the best arm you probably ever saw back in the 80s, early 90s. Jeff George. I don't know how many wins he had, but he played for a long time.
It was between those two. It was like, I know both names, never got to watch them.
Okay, Jeff George. If he's the 9 seed, TA's up with 1 pick remaining each. If he's not the 9 seed, George is up with 1 pick remaining each. Jeff George is the 9 seed. Okay, TA, you're in the driver's seat here. You're up by 3, and you can lock down a final spot, a spot in the championship game. If you can come through with your final selection. If you find the, let's see, I think because you have the advantage here, if you were to find the 17th seed and rack up an extra 9 points, you'd be up by 12, and all George could do is tie it. But since we already have a tie, you would still advance with 1 win and 2 ties. So 17 or better is what you need for your last pick.
17 or better. Okay. And so, I mean, I know he had 10 wins in one season. And he's obviously spot started a bunch. He won a bunch as a backup. Teddy Bridgewater has got to be up there.
Okay. Teddy, 2 gloves. If it's the 17 seed or better, this one is done. And we'll just pick Tua and call it a day. If it is not, then George will have the chance to send us to the final Jeopardy. But Teddy Bridgewater is the final pick. Teddy Bridgewater is the 14th seed and is the best available.
Wow.
That will do it. I'll do it for George.
I think Blake Bortles is the right answer, but yeah.
Tua would have been the 20th seed, but it does not matter.
Tyler would have been up there. Between Tyler and Teddy for me. So, yeah.
Okay, so TA gets it done and gets it done without losing. You win 2-2, 2-0-1 on this one, but an impressive display from TA. He is the 2 seed after all. TA, talk to us about the matchup here and your anticipation for how you think the final will go.
Well, I mean, it's clearly as a coin flip between me and George. It really came down to like 1 or 2 misses. Stretching it out to 8 just really makes it a lot more difficult, right? Because you have to have a more in-depth knowledge than just like, all right, I can pick the top half. So it's difficult. I think knowing what I know about Eric, if he can beat Hitman, he's better at like the really deep knowledge, I think. Right. I think that increases his shot if he could get past Hitman. Hitman's gonna be mad that I'm already having him go past him, but it was good. I mean, George is a very worthy competitor, so that was a tough matchup.
George, big run to the semifinals, an impressive run as well, but where do you think this one went wrong? Do you think you could have had this one?
Yeah, so we talk about like in football betting variance and how like it often comes down to like a coin flip. So the first quiz we tie, the second quiz, I give you 3 possible names that I'm deciding on. 2 of them get me the win. I pick the one that doesn't. So there's like losing the 2/3 coin flip, and then deciding between Jeff George and Elvis Grbac, 2 like old quarterbacks that I remember. You pick the wrong one, and that's it, right? 2 little missteps, and there's the whole matchup.
Yeah, and even in that first quiz, you picked the 15th seed. Had you selected 14th seed, you would have won that one as well. But it comes down to the finest of margins, and TA was the player who took advantage on the day. This has been the semifinal number 1 on the Sports IQ Showdown's Ultimate NFL Trivia Bracket. Tune in next week as it is Eric Eager against Hitman to see who will face TA in that final. We're hoping to do that final live on the Hammer HQ channel, but nonetheless, all the episodes will be here. So get subscribed to the channel, smash the like button if you enjoyed this one. We'll see you next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.